Hi everybody, welcome back to Cids Modded Life, Season 3, Episode 51 with me, Cid, and last episode we made this. This is a, a heat generator mechanism power supply. It's passive. As I said in the previous episode, the initial things we're building are all passive. You know, we've got the water mills there. This is passive. It generates heat based on the number of lava blocks on each side. So the more lava blocks, the more heat, more power it generates. And yeah, these are full because that's full. But that was built last episode. Now there was a question in the comments about why we didn't put these at the back. There's two reasons. One is the connection's only on one side, so I would have had to rotate those around. The other thing is you would have just ended up with a wall of lava because, of course, the block opposite this is lava to get a piece on the side. So, yeah, this is a kind of an odd one, but I do like the look of that. It kind of works reasonably well. Anyway, what are we doing this episode? Well, this episode we're going to do something a little bit more straightforward. We are going to come over to our Iron Golem Farm over here, which I think is behaving right now. Yes, Iron Golems are spawning here, or in one of these areas, and there's a spot they're spawning over here as well that they're managing to spawn. So there are definitely some spawnable spots. I actually need to just go and grab a block of stone or something to fix that. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing my flight suit, it's quite simple. This is going to be the easiest way to do this because we're going to continue working in here on the cave. We're going to bring this lot all down and it's all going to be good, and it's going to be down here in a cave where we can check things out. Now I think we are okay on the inside of this, but the space where one of them spawned was there. So that's a spot that we need to consider. I'm just going to very carefully fill in some of these spots where I think they've been able to spawn in, but I think it's probably only just on the sides and that corner. That's probably far enough away. And this is the area where I suspect we have issues. So, well, we'll see how we go. But for the most part, we should be getting golems periodically. And let's have rid of them. This should all be working. Now, one of the downsides of working in this area is that these guys, come on, no, didn't spawn in that time. Don't know why, but does not matter anyway. So I have already done a little bit of gathering for this build, and we are going to start off with, where's my bag? I also went to grab some leaves because that'll probably come in handy. Boop, 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 and a bit of that. We're going to want a whole load of that. We're going to want a whole load of this. I'm going to strip a whole stack. Yeah, I really do wish you could just do that. We can get the posts though. Interesting, but not what I need. Yeah, that would be nice if you could make stripped logs like that. But I'm just going to strip a whole bunch of these down, and maybe a third of a quarter of a stack of spruce. So I'm going to need those, but we're going to get that cave going. We're going to get all sorts of wonderful bits and pieces thrown in, and hopefully we'll come up with a finish, and we'll probably try and work around the bottom of the thing as well. I'd like to finish this guy off fully this episode if I could, because next episode I want to work on what is probably going to be the last passive power gen that we've got, and well, I can, let me just, it's probably, no, I think if I if I try and vein mine this, it's going to just pull all of the normal logs up as well, I suspect. But we can do it once we've done this. Use that one in the air. There you go. Lovely. So there's one more. I'm missing a log. There you are. Actually, I should have just done that. And then we'll take half a spruce log, actually, just because we can. In fact, I'll not do the whole lot to start off with. We'll do that. There we go. That should give me what I need. So, and we are going to need a fair amount of you, hence why I've got the flight suit, because this is just going to make life considerably easier. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our cave in. We're going to sleep the night off first, actually, before we get to that. And try and make a little spot. Oh, wait for that. A little spot in there to bring the stuff down. We'll get some landing platforms. To get it all decorated up, we'll get some wooden dock-like affairs in there. And, you know, just generally try and make the place look finished and nice and useful. Will all be good. So that's going to basically, we're going to come around to, if I look at this, oh, well, we know that's working. Who are you? Don't know where that, oh, I know. So if we kind of come in like this a wee bit until we get to around about here. Oops, not like that. Let's do maybe that, perhaps. And then I think we need to actually go a little bit more like this. He says breaking everything inside. Great. So we got that going in here, and then we'll kind of bring that cave up. We'll do the same on this side, and I think that was a fish. Again, coming back from here, maybe that's definitely too tight. So if we kind of come back like that, perhaps. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's obviously a representation and not the whole thing. So now the idea then I want to do from this wall, and I'm going to we'll bring this. We'll bring this out like a so. Just we'll keep this one level all the way around actually for now. And we'll so that's going to go around like this, and what we'll have then is this will continue round. We'll build this up, we'll build it down. The Iron Golem should have nowhere spawnable in there, so let me get that done and I'll be back in a second. Alright. Oh, I've got a gap there. Remember there being a gap there? Not a problem. We can fix said gap. Boop. There we go. Much better. I'm assuming there's no more gaps anywhere. So we've got a cave, and it's a good old dark cave right now. There's not a lot going for it, but first thing I need is, I think we're going to come in, and at this level we are going to basically cover the stone with primarily sand. I might go and grab a bit of gravel from the seabed and swap out a bit of this sand after the fact, but You know, get a bit of sand down first. Again, broad brush strokes. It's all about the getting the canvas right before you start trying to, you know, get the details in. And then you just build up the details layer by layer until you've got something that works. We also do need to bring down the hooferators, the whatchamajigs, the containers, that's the word I'm looking for, that are obviously filling up with iron as we speak, because you can hear them dying quite readily. But that will give us a working position. If I can just get this lot done. And you know, you've got that. Now there's a little bit of that really does not work. It's a bit too clean and tidy, so what I might do is around in a few places just drop these just to break up the uniformity of it, and I move the conduit out. Like I say, what we might actually do is just run down in here. It's only cod, and we don't need to worry about cod. And maybe just grab one or two of these, not too many, but you know, enough, and maybe even just a few of those as well, just for good measure. Well, maybe not immediately, but you know. So again, in here, got the gravel, so we can just break up this this overly uniform piece of. Oops. Well, that was a mistake. Yeah, this overly uniform piece of sand and stuff with a bit of gravel down here. That will, I think, help. I think we need a lot. Just enough so it breaks up the texture there. Right. We'll come back to the kelp in a moment. What we need next is about 2 out, so we'll come out 1, 2, and then we'll come down to there. We'll take that out, and we're going to come up with these 1, 2, and 3. And this is the age-old trick of using a slightly darker wood at the bottom and then varying it so it looks like it's a bit waterlogged. That's nothing, absolutely nothing new there. So yeah, that's I'm just going to stick a torch here and here for now because it'll make this a bit easier to see. But I want to come in and I want to stay 2 in. So if I kind of come down to here again and do and 1, 2, actually that would stay at 3 there, wouldn't it? So just take that one out, and again just pop one of these on the top. So that's all good and happy. It's a bit tight on that wall, but again, I'm not too worried because we really aren't going to be using this a lot. This is just getting the look. We'll even do one there. And again, we'll just stick a spiker torch down there. Come 1, 2. I'm going to actually come in here, I think, with this last one. And I realised that that was not necessary, but there you go. So that gives us some post. But then what I want to do is, and this is where I'm probably going to need more of this, but if we come from about here and come out about 2, we can bring the actual mooring platform a little bit further out on both sides. I'm probably going to need a little bit more. strip log, but just around so it kind of pokes out. Or do I need a bit more strip log? I might get away with just that one. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. About here perhaps, and there. And I'm definitely not going to have enough of this, so yeah. However, we'll approach this slightly more intelligently, and we'll strip the actual wood in the water once I've slept. If I can get the right thing. Plop. And then it's just a matter of putting some boards down for the actual boardwalk, and that's going to be an interesting thing in its own right, because we'll pop you down there. This is going to be using something, well, I'm going to try in a technique I've not used before, so I think this one I am going to bring another. I'm going to bring up one here, and then we'll bring one in at the end, so about there perhaps. So this will just come straight up the outside, and then the other one will only have one extra. Damn it. The reason the flight suit is working, it makes this easier of course, is well, I can fly rather than swim, which makes a huge difference. But we'll quickly do that, and then we'll just take you up. Hello, not like that though. Bit of that, one of them, and then the same again, and then I'll just put one on the edge, I think, just where like that would be. So yeah, that shouldn't take me too long. Let me quickly get that done, and I'm going to put probably some dirt scaffolding actually, just to finish up. But I'll get that done. I'll be back in a second. All right, so I've put a scaffolding. I've used cobblestone because that's what I had. And what we're going to do is we are going to use covers on the top of that. So once we've gone over the top of that, we'll be able to break these out. The water should reassert itself underneath. I'm also going to put some covers on the top of these slabs here. I'm just trying to figure out the best way of getting them, and I'm fairly certain if I have a look at spruce, there is that one, the stripped spruce. Yeah, so if I just do if I strip 4 of these, and then combine those, we should get 3 of those, and we can take no, I don't do it in the world to do it. I'm so used to chisels and bits, you know. Let's just do 2 of them, and that should make these neatly unspawnable and also cap them off nicely. I'm not worried about the fact there shouldn't be anything spawning in here anyway, but I probably need to take that out though, and I'll probably want to put that back in somewhere, maybe there. So again, that gives us those, and then what I'm looking for is a mixture. So if I'm going to have a look at oak, oaky oak. Obviously we've got oak logs, we've got stripped oak, we've got things. Now what we don't have is all of the blocks that we were familiar with. However, I want to try some of those. Those have got me curious, so let me just try a few of those. Now if I place you there, that is actually quite an interesting, yeah, okay. But it's going to be under the water, isn't it? Are you waterloggable? Let's find out. The answer is yes, it is. and then we can place the thing on the top of it. So that'll give us an interesting structure underneath. Okay, we'll play with those. We still need to play with a mixture of, I think, let me get rid of that and that for now. And I think we still need to play with a mixture, because there's no other real oak textures now. Chisel is... These things really spoil you, they really do. But we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't really matter. So all I'm going to do is strip them and turn them into... so we'll do that. And then we'll take 2, maybe 3 of those, and oops, not like that. We'll do that, and again, and that should be it. And then we'll take a whole bunch of those, maybe 9, for no reason other than sort of the figure that came straight into my head. And we'll do a few of those. That gives us 64 plus 8, and then we're going to take, I think we'll just take 4. I'm going to throw in a few off-colour ones to give that kind of impression of decay and rot. And night is coming down on us again, but it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we are going to whack these down all over the shop like so. We'll mix in those and the other things, and hopefully we'll come up with an interesting kind of boardwalk design. Quick sleep, just because it's a lot easier without mobs trying to eat your face. And let us get those, and we'll just get those for now. So yeah, we'll come in here and no. There is a drawback to these covers, and they are fragile. But, oh well, such is life. But eventually, we should end up with a structure that works. Now, I'm going to just run around this side. I'll definitely be doing some more of these, I suspect, because I don't want a lot of those dead boards. But this works, I think. Yeah, definitely going to be doing the rest of those. And I suppose the other thing a couple of other things we could do. One would be throw in a few trapdoors of some description or another. Maybe let's have a look. Maybe if we take a little bit of spruce and turn that over, that'll give us again some more variations of colours and in theory thicknesses. So we can throw those around. Like that. That's starting to get some character, I think. So I'm just going to get this done, and then once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to come in underneath and strip out all of this scaffolding, and hopefully some of these water sources will reassert themselves. And mend themselves. It isn't the end of the world if they don't, because we have got buckets, of course, so you know, we can just go and do a fix like that, perhaps. And yeah, and there we go. That gives us a nice fix like so. And then the final thing to do underneath some of these is just to come in and throw 1 or 2 of those under. Now again, you won't see them from a distance, but it just adds a bit of completeness for my mind. Let me do all of that. I'll be back in a second. Alright, now one thing, the purpose of this was to I'm just going to actually, before I go and do that, let me just add a little bit of light in here, temporarily. If I do it there. Now, one of the purposes of doing this was, of course, to bring the contents of this all the way down there. So, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to take you. Could have done with a block actually, but doesn't matter. We'll achieve that this way, and we're going to bring you down a wee bit. And what I want to do is I want to get these items, if you'll pardon the horrendous noise, down, but I also need to, I think I'm going to need to, because they're going to face that way, aren't they? Yeah. So I'm going to need to get something to do rotation, if I can. Hopefully they'll rotate, but that's fine. So what we can do is we can get you, take you, and if I can get myself to the point where I can actually take off again. Right. If I'm going to have 3 crays, I think the best place for the controller is going to be there. Which means that we can now bring a hopper chain down from there and into that. So let's just come up, up, up. In fact, let's go up again. 2 and then. So that should be flowing stuff down. I think I can probably steal that just to cover that off. Nothing in there should be spawnable, so we're all still good. Now all we need to do is get these in, but the question remains, can I actually rotate them? Also the question remains, can I get out here and sleep? Has anything spawned on that island? Yes, Mr. Creepy, hello there. Right, let's get you sorted. Another thing occurred to me, what's that? I see something heading in my direction. Oh, it's a drowned. And that is, no, I have actually given that intelligence. Oh, that's all right then, we'll let it off. Come here, you. And yeah, right, that's him sorted out. We'll stop him mucking around with us. Yeah. So the question was, have I got any tool that will rotate anything? A smart wench will right click to rotate. Give it a try. Worst case scenario, it won't work and we'll be no better off. Right, we can't rotate it. Not with that anyway. What else have we got? Have we got anything? I mean, that's not gonna. I don't think you're gonna rotate it, are you? You do. Hello. Okay, that's fine then. This is fine. Because we'll grab you, and we shall grab you. We'll place you and rotate. Place you, rotate. There's usually something that will rotate things in this game. And place you and rotate. And then fill that in So that's it. Everything is now coming down. It should be feeding into there quite happily. And now we can start getting a bit more decorative with the place because we're still not done. Right. So the first things first, we need to change out that cave a wee bit to have a few other things. We're going to stick a bit of cobble in there. We are going to stick a bit of, if I grab some of you and some of you, we should be able to make, I think it's like that, isn't it? No? Uses for that. Okay, like that is even cheaper than that. Okay, and then like so, bang. There's some andesite. I don't really want much else of anything. I will take, if we've got any. Don't think I do. I was going to say I'll take a little bit of gravel if we've got any, but if we haven't, not a problem. And I'll take, well, we'll deal with that after the fact. First things first then, what we need to do is just roughen up this with a few textural changes. So I'll get a bit of andesite, a bit of cobble in there. Maybe if I can squeeze the odd bit of gravel on some of these twos, I might go and grab a bit and put that in. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, we're getting there. Steadily, slowly, we'll achieve what we're after. Now the next thing is this is supposed to be a cave and it's supposed to be old. So Quark has got these rather nice stalactites. And you can, you know, just plaster a few of these around and get quite a nice little effect going on there. So if I were to come over here and just drop a nice long one down like that, come in here and get something like that perhaps, maybe that. So I don't want to go too mad, but I don't want to be too sparing either. It's the eternal quandary of how much do you abuse something, and I think we need a little bit. I've also got some andesite ones. They come in all sorts of flavors, but again I wanted to keep this fairly neutral. And they only go 3 deep, so that kind of limits you a little bit, but that gives us a definite feel for that. However, I also did bring some lanterns. I also brought some chains, so that'll give us some things to play. Whoa, you scared me half to death there. Don't do that to me, you git. Oh, you turn around, this slash like blah, blah, blah. Oh. Right, so we're going to throw in here now. My first thoughts, we can throw some of them. We can throw onto the ends of these speleotherms, or stalactites. And I don't want to go mad with these. But the other thing we've got is, of course, is Quark iron chains, where we can go and throw a few of those in as well for good measure. And yeah, that kind of works. Again, don't go mad. Just keep it simples, and we're starting to get a feel. It is starting to get there. What I didn't bring is any bloody bone meal with me, which was short-sighted. Because I do want to get some seagrass growing down here, and then 1 or 2 of these, I've only got 4 anyway, so let's just put 1 there, perhaps, like so. Now, I would like some sea pickles down there, just a couple, and I do want to put some seagrass down there, so I need to go and address that. I don't see any sea pickles around here, but we're not in the right ocean biome for that, so let me just go and sort those out. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I've got a few sea pickles, which will throw some there, one there, a couple there perhaps, and maybe the remaining ones there. Let's have a look at that. That works. Then we've got some bone meal, so we can come in here and give this a little bit of life over and above what it had before. And that kind of gets that done. Now, the last thing, and again, I don't... In an ideal world, I would go all the way around the bottom of this and break it in, but I don't think we're going to do that because it's around this side it's quite shallow and there's a lot of the seagrass and stuff around it, quite a lot of foliage. Around this side there's less, but again that could be quite easily fixed, you know, just by throwing in a whole load of these around, and it also throwing in a wee bit of this as well, because you know that's all going to help and increase the thing. But down this area is a little bit bland, so I want to play around with some corals down there, which is why I brought all of this coral things. Now, is there anything else I need? I did bring leaves, and I did contemplate putting some leaves coming out of the root, but I honestly think it may be too much. However, there is I mean, I could put a little bit. No, I actually think it'd be too much. Let me know what you think, but I think that would be far too much work there. So that just leaves corals, which I brought a whole load of coral essence with me, and this stuff can be used to make everything. So I'm going to get... Oh, I need dyes though. Oh, I didn't bring in any dyes with me. That's awkward. Let me address that. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I think that's about it. So we've thrown in corals down there. I could actually do... Have I got any bone meal left? I think you can bone meal the hoofers, can't you, there? Sea pickles. That's what I was after. Can you do that? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Okay. Not a problem. But the final thing I think we need to do down here is take out our conduit and put that away. And I realise I'm probably about time, and there's not been an episode that has accomplished a huge amount, but you know, it has at least finished this build. It's relocated all of the collection mechanism down, and hopefully it's made this place just look that a little bit more finished. I think some sea pickles down there wouldn't hurt. You. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that will do us fine and dandy. Now we need to pick you up. We need to grab you. There's a question mark about whether I get rid of this little island here, but in terms of where we're at, we have our entrance. It comes in. We've got the detail. We've got a nice little dock area. It's spawn proof, and it's churning out iron and stuff. I mean, what more can I ask for it? Now, this place technically inside is big enough for me to hide a few more farms in, and I may use it yet, but I'm happy with that. I think the only thing that remains is for me to get a screenshot of the thing. But what I will probably do is just get a few sea pickles down there first, though. To do that, I'm going to have to go and grab them. But until next time, thank you. Hello. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.